Dear students, welcome to the next part second of the topic salts and milk of the subject chemistry of milk. In this today's video lecture, we will discuss about the physical equilibrium among milk salts. Milk contains several elements, but all of them are not entirely in a soluble state. Some minerals exist in colloidal and ionic state at the normal pH of the milk. The compounds which are in soluble condition play an important role in keeping various milk constituents in stable condition. A balance exists between the components which are in soluble state and those which are in colloidal state. The dissolved salts of milk are phosphate, citrate, chlorides, sulfates, bicarbonates, sodium, potassium, magnesium and calcium. Sodium and potassium in milk are present entirely in soluble state. It is necessary to have physical equilibrium among the milk salts for the stability of milk, especially during the heat processing. Colloidal particles of casein contains predominantly calcium, magnesium, phosphate and citrate. The chloride and sulfate are entirely present as the free ions calcium, chloride and sulfate ions at the pH of milk, at the normal pH of milk. The salts of the various weak acids. What are the weak acids? Phosphates, citrates and carbonates. These comes under the category of weak acids. The salt of the various weak acids are distributed among various ionic forms. Calcium and magnesium form soluble ions with citrate, phosphate and bicarbonate. Talking about the salt balance, salts in milk exist in colloidal and soluble form. A large amount of salt is present in casein micelle structure and is in equilibrium with salts in the soluble phase of milk. During acidification or fermentation of milk, some salts gets solubilized from the colloidal state and comes to the soluble state. This destabilizes the casein micelle structure and tends to precipitate out, as happens during curd setting of milk and preparation of acid casein. It also happens that the casein micelle stability is lost during heating of milk at high temperature, such as in UST processing, sterilization and boiling of milk. This is due to the insolubilization of colloidal calcium phosphate and final loss in the stability of milk. This is in turn affects the quality of dairy products. Such changes in salt balance also take place during manufacture of condensed milk, evaporated milk and milk powder. It has been observed that the balance between certain salts such as calcium ions and magnesium ions with citrate and phosphate in the colloidal and soluble phase plays an important role in the stability of casein micelle structure. It appears a delicate balance cations and anions in the colloidal and soluble state is very important in determining the stability of milk. The monovalent cations such as sodium ions have a dispersing effect, while the divalent and trivalent cations such as calcium ions and magnesium ions have an aggregating effect. So during heat processing of cow milk or buffalo milk, the heat stability would be governed by the concentration of above ions in addition to other factors. Therefore, addition of sodium citrate and phosphate improves the heat stability of milk. Colloidal salts remain in equilibrium with the dissolved salts. Various treatments of milk may cause transfer of salts from one phase to the other. Various methods have been used to study the partition of salts between dissolved and colloidal phases. Two-thirds of the salt and one-third of the magnesium and one-half of the phosphorus are colloidal in normal milk. It is presumed that all the colloidal phosphates is present in the micellar calcium phosphate, and it appears that all the colloidal citrate is similarly located, whereas colloidal calcium and magnesium are partially incorporate in milk colloidal phosphate and partially bound in a more direct manner to casein. A small portion of colloidal calcium is bound to alpha-lactalbumin. Beta-lactalbumin can also bind calcium and magnesium, and there is other minor calcium binding protein. Nearly all the sodium, all the potassium, and all the chlorine is diffusible or soluble form. The principal dissolved salts constituents or milk consist of phosphate, citrate, chloride, sulfate, bicarbonate, sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium. At pH 6.6 of milk, sodium and potassium are not found in any combination with other constituents and are present as the cations, sodium ions and potassium ions, while the chloride and sulfate, being anions of strong acids, are present as free ions, chloride ions and sulfate ions. However, the salts of weak acids, phosphates, citrates, carbonates, are distributed among various ionic forms. Calcium and magnesium form soluble complex ions with citrate, phosphate, and bicarbonates. Now talking about the factors which affect this salt balance. The factors which affect the salt balance are temperature, acidity, carbon dioxide content, concentration, and sequestering agents and ion exchangers. We will discuss about them one by one, starting with the temperature. The temperature will shift the balance among the various forms as milk is subjected to various cooling and heating treatments after it is drawn from the cow at 37 degrees Celsius. With the rise in temperature, the dissolved salt will be transferred to colloidal phase. Similarly, lowering the temperature below that at which the milk is drawn would cause a transfer of calcium and phosphate from the colloidal state to the dissolved state. The next factor is acidity. There will be a pronounced shift in the salt equilibria with the addition of acid to milk, with directly or indirectly by the bacterial action. Decrease in the pH withdraws the calcium and phosphate from the colloidal particles or colloidal phase until at about pH 5.2 all the calcium and phosphate is in the dissolved state. The third factor is carbon dioxide content. Milk, when secreted by cow, contains about 20 mg of CO2, and when milk is accelerated by heating and agitation, removal of CO2 would affect the balance in the rest of the system. It would be expected that the removal of carbon dioxide and the consequent rise in pH would be reflected in a shift in calcium phosphate from the dissolved to the colloidal state, and probably also in a shift of calcium ions activity. The CO2 gas is rapidly lost from milk owing to its low content in the air. The loss is irreversible under ordinary conditions of handling. The fourth point is concentration. As the milk is concentrated, there is a tendency for calcium and phosphate and calcium citrate to accumulate in colloidal particles because of solubility is exceeded. As these materials are insolubilized, hydrogen ions are liberated, lowering the pH. The net result is an increase in concentration of citrate and phosphate in both the dissolved and colloidal state. And the last factor is sequestering agents and ion exchangers. In order to stabilize the milk or even to improve the utility of milk for a particular purpose, it is desirable to treat milk so as to alter its ionic balance. The best known example for this is the addition of phosphate or citrate to stabilize milk against subsequent heat coagulation. This practice is common during the manufacture of evaporated milk. Addition of phosphate or citrate results in binding of more of the calcium in the form of soluble complexes and decreasing activity of the calcium ion. Soluble reagents which thus tie up a particular ions are called as sequestering agents and are said to sequester that ion. EDTA, ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, is on such as one such sequestering agent. It is very good reagent for divalent and polyvalent cations. Treatment of milk with ion exchange column will remove both anions and cations from milk by a process called monobed resin treatment. It is mixture of cation exchange resins in the hydrogen form and an anion exchange resin in the hydroxyl form. When a salt containing solution is passed through such a mixture of resins, both anions and cations are absorbed by the resin and hydrogen and hydroxyl ions are released which immediately combine to form water. By such treatment, milk can be deionized to any extent desirable in a single pass through a resin bed or by batch-wise treatment with a mixture of two resins. So this was all about the physical equilibrium between milk salts. In our next chapter, we will discuss about milk contact surface and metallic contamination. Thank you for listening.